Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, hold on. Now, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Saturday morning. It is still cold out, actually, but 13 degrees this morning as opposed to 5 yesterday. That is still very nice. And honestly, the last few weeks of getting up and last few Saturdays of getting up extremely early and running far really have taken their toll. That's why this morning I had to dial it back a little bit. But overall, I'm doing okay. I feel well rested. I feel ready to go, and that is about all there is to it. Oh, I can actually see the tie right there. So once again, happy Saturday, everybody, and that does remind me. See, as I mentioned earlier, the days are starting to grow longer. However, it is this weekend that daylight savings time occurs. So this is a very fair and very important reminder, and I will mention this in the descriptions of most likely whatever platform you're watching this. That it is important that you take the time to fix your clocks. We go forward 1 hour, so say if it's 7 o'clock in the morning, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Essentially, is what you do. In fact, yesterday I actually fixed the clock in my car, and actually right before making this video, I fixed the clock right here in my room. I mean, obviously for computers, electronic devices, cable, that does that stuff automatically. But everything else that needs to be manually changed, be sure to do that, because it really does feel awkward thinking that, after daylight savings time occurs, you get in the car and like, wait, that's not what time it is. So, yes. Daylight savings time is tonight, so, again, be sure to fix your clocks. I mean, might as well. Yeah. So, in fact, I actually reminded all the members of my family to do it earlier as well. Technically you don't really need to do it until probably before you go to bed tonight, but might as well just get over with. It literally is about as difficult as pressing a button, so, unless for whatever reason you can't press a button, unless you're maybe like a germaphobe or something. But the point is, take the time, fix your clocks, and yeah, that is actually the important takeaway from today, if there ever is one. But enough about that. We need to get into talking about the Alliance of American Football. It's time for my picks today. And boy, do we have a big one this afternoon. Now, up until a week ago, Birmingham was one of two undefeated teams. I say up until a week ago because Birmingham, unfortunately, lost. With that said, I still feel that Birmingham is the most definite contender in this league, and they will go very far in this league. However, they face their greatest challenge because in the entire Alliance of American Football, there is but one undefeated team left, and that team is Orlando. Yes, it is the showdown that at this point a lot of fans have been waiting for. Orlando versus Birmingham, and they're at Birmingham too. This is going to be a tough call. I, for the life of me, have no idea what team I'm going to pick for this one. With that said, Birmingham is at home, and they are most likely mad, but they're mad at the fact that they lost. With that said, though, Orlando has defied the odds several times throughout the course of this league. So, you know what? Even though they're probably the underdog in this situation, I'll go with Orlando. Yeah, I know, the undefeated team is actually the underdog in this game. Who knew? But we'll have to wait and see. It's actually going to be a really good game, I feel. I think it's going to be one that a lot of people online are going to be talking about for the next, several days. Now, let's see. Salt Lake at San Diego. Well, Salt Lake has been... both Salt Lake and San Diego have both proven that they're pretty solid. Although San Diego is at home, and they are one of the two teams I feel has the best defense. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with San Diego on this one. So, beating Salt Lake. So there we go. Now we get to Memphis at Atlanta. Well, Atlanta finally got a win this past weekend, which is very nice. But so did Memphis. So this is literally... one team is actually going to be able to keep a streak alive. The other team is not going to be able to do that. With that said, I think I'll go with Memphis on this one. Yeah, Memphis seems like a pretty solid call. And then tomorrow night will be San Antonio at Arizona. Well, Arizona did lose their starting QB. And San Antonio actually put up a great offset against Birmingham, who I just said was undefeated last week until San Antonio beat them. So, yeah. I think I'm going to go with San Antonio beating Arizona. So, my picks are going to be Orlando, San Diego, Memphis, and San Antonio. Those are going to be technically two of the picks are for today and the other two are for tomorrow. And I'll reiterate the ones tomorrow when the time comes. But yeah, that's about all I have to say on that subject. Man. I really am glad that I got to sleep and I was really able to see the sunrise as I was finishing my... I went what I normally do every day, 4.1 miles, which, isn't really much in the grand scheme of things. But it really was nice to sort of, sleep in a little bit, check out the sunrise as I was, running. But the sad part is I actually went to bed super duper early because I wanted to get up super duper early, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. Then again, I have been sort of doing that whole 16-hour intermittent fasting thing lately. Maybe that's probably one of the reasons why I'm feeling tired lately. Luckily I actually have been timing when my 16 hours start. I know traditionally that it's supposed to be from 8 o'clock at night to noon the next day. But sometimes you just can't really do that. Plus, 16 hours is 16 hours. If it happens to start an hour earlier, an hour later, you'd have to adjust anyway. So, why not? With that being said, though, I do try and keep it going a little longer than 16 just for the sake of also practice for, because, even after 16 hours is up, you're still not able to get something to eat right away, which, that happens. So it's just, solid practice for, patience, I guess. It's practicing patience is what it is. Although, with that said, if I actually do the polar bear plunge, and since you have to wait an hour to go swimming after you eat, I'm probably going to do a full 18-hour one. Just for that day. Who knows? Should be fun, though. I would actually show you that I really am keeping track of how long the 16 hours has been going, but unfortunately, the very smartphone I'm using to do this video right now holds the very stopwatch that I'm using to time myself. Actually, in about 5 minutes, I should be about 14 hours in to give you a rough estimate in terms of, I started at 5:20 yesterday is when is when I started. 5:20 and change. So, and it's just after 7:15 this morning. So that should give you a rough idea as to how far I am. But I think I think the intermittent fasting thing was invented because the first 8 hours are actually, for the most part, pretty easy. Because, you sleep through them. Or nothing like a good night's sleep. And, you just gotta wait until, whenever the last 8 hours are up. And, there's plenty of stuff you can do. Technically, you could say me doing this video is a great way to do that. But, whatever. That being said, though, if I do the polar bear plunge, I don't care how cold the showers. It's weird, because you guys know I've been taking cold showers, right? In the morning. And for whatever reason, it doesn't feel as cold as it should be. And I don't know why. I definitely turn the nozzle to cold. Not like freezing cold that I myself can't stand it, but it's cold enough where you'd be like, okay, this is definitely colder than a typical shower should be. And I did not even realize that the bear is not sitting straight up. One day I'll figure out how to. Oh, I guess it is my fault. The bear is leaning on my person, and I'm technically sort of laying back right now, doing this video. I got my feet propped up and whatever. So, yeah, there is that. Not really, honestly, this really should be a pretty quiet, it figures that the weekend before St. Patrick's Day weekend is essentially going to be really, really quiet. Think about it. Does anyone know what's going on this weekend at all outside of daylight savings time? Which, again, friendly reminder, move your clocks forward. Okay? Good. I know I emphasized that quite a bit so far in this video, but it really is important that you do that. So, yes. Although, now I realize we have to move our clocks forward, so already we lose an hour of sleep, which, I've never been one to complain about having too much sleep unless it legitimately bothered me, which it didn't. Although, now I technically have to wait a little longer than I ought to, at least I feel like, to see the sunrise. And you guys know I love the sunrise. The sunrise is nice. That's why I leave my windows open throughout the day, whether it's cold or not, because, the sunshine is nice. And fortunately for me, you can't really tell, but the sun doesn't actually straight up face my window, so it's not like I turn around and oh, the sun is right there. No, it's just nice. Actually, I'm looking at clear blue skies right now, which would very much explain why it was cold this morning. Yeah, apparently sometimes I forget the clouds actually sort of protect you from the cold, believe it or not. Even if it was cloudy, it would have been 23 degrees as opposed to 13, but that's something, I guess. I should probably get my day started before I ramble on too much. So like, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button. I can really support YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. As always, I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch. Enjoy for today. I am hopeful that we all have a wonderful Saturday. And remember, if you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices.